As is often the case, it started in show rather than in silence. The air shimmered with expectation on the rooftop of the Vantage, a posh Flagstaff lounge famous for its expansive views of the desert and its expensive cocktails. Although there were many stars in the night sky above, the real stars of that night were not celestial. Rather, they were gathered below, amidst the velvet rope and string lights, drinking from gold-rimmed cups and murmuring softly. Then Kody Brown arrived. Like a guy arriving to deafening applause, he stepped out onto the rooftop, albeit no applause was given. His grin was broad over his bronzed face, and he was wearing a fitting dark blazer with perfectly sculpted curls. A young woman, tall, slender, blonde, and glowing, was holding his hand in a couture gown that fit her every curve like a second skin. Those who knew her were familiar with her. Before turning to health retreats and TikTok stardom, Britlin Stone was the spiritual wife of a polygamist influencer. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. No one anticipated her being on Kody Brown's arm, even though her name had been circulating in whispers around polygamist communities in Utah and Arizona for years. Not in this manner. Not in public. Aware of the cameras, he guided her to the middle of the rooftop. He didn't recoil. He didn't conceal anything. Leaning in, he gave her a kiss. Profoundly. Close to home. With the flair of a man who thought he was beyond the rules. Additionally, the faces in the audience conveyed tales that the screenplay was unable to depict. Robyn Brown was stunned and unable to move. She was unaware. Not really. There had been rumors, but Robyn had brushed them off, as she always did, secure in her position as the chosen one, the legal wife. As she saw her 13-year husband kiss a lady younger than two of his daughters, her wine glass shook in her hands. Something flared in her eyes, not just agony, but dread, and her mouth opened in a quiet cry. The knowledge that she was no longer his focal point. That she had been replaced in public, not behind closed doors. She was also old news and no longer the new favorite. Beside her, photographers mercilessly snapped their shots. Her clothes, shoes, and the memory of the guy she once stood up for were all soiled as the crimson wine fell out of her palm and broke at her feet. Janelle Brown, leaning against the balcony rail across the lounge, watched with an expression that was impossible to read. With a sophisticated white jumpsuit, gold accessories, and hairstyled with a boldness not seen since her early TLC days, she exuded confidence like armor. The cameras only captured her new hand ring, a glittering diamond on her left ring finger, even as her fingers raised a crystal flute to her lips. Not from Kody. Never again. Later, when reporters flocked to her to inquire who presented it to her, Janelle grinned effortlessly and said, "I did." In another place, Meri Brown sat alone herself on a woven rug amid boxes, candles, and quiet in a small Airbnb furnished in dusty pinks and gentle grays. There was a reason she picked tonight. Meri hit go live on her phone as the globe saw Kody's kiss unfold in real time on social media and gossip blogs. Thousands tuned in a matter of minutes. Her eyes reflected the ring light, but her face was unlit and raw with anguish. She raised a box. A melted gold ring, charred, distorted, and symbolic, was inside. While viewers showered the comment section with hearts, tears, and applause, she calmly declared, "I've burned every bridge that led back to him. And I'm not turning around." She grabbed a white poster board and a large black marker. Slowly and deliberately, her hand moved. *K-off. She fixed her gaze on the camera. To any women who are still holding out hope that he may change, don't. He won't. Go now. If you must, run. Her feed ended, but feminist influencers, former followers, and ex-fundamentalists all across the world downloaded, shared, clipped, and rebroadcast the video. Gabe Brown, Kody's son with Janelle, posted a shocking YouTube video titled, "Exposing My Dad. The lies, the money, the abuse" in a dark, blue-lit studio on the outskirts of Flagstaff. There was silence at first. Gabe's voice came next, harsh, low, and determined. "I'm not trying to harm my family with this. He did this already, so I'm doing it now." He presented shell corporations, property titles, and bank statements. Everything. He disclosed that Robyn and Kody had gradually moved assets into an irrevocable trust in Robyn's name, excluding the other wives from any legitimate claim to joint property. He displayed text message pictures in which Robyn called Meri and Janelle financial deadweight. He played a recording, which was the most incriminating. During a phone chat, Gabe placed a covert microphone and captured Kody's voice. The video became viral. It became popular on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. TLC was asked to stop all reruns by thousands of fans. Numerous legal analysts conjectured about fraud. Gabe left a personal message at the end of the video. "You gave everything, Mom," I said. "My sisters tell the truth. This is what repercussions look like to my dad." 2 days later, she had a panic attack outside the courthouse in Flagstaff and was taken to the hospital. Photographs of her being loaded into an ambulance with her face depressed and her eyes crimson were captured by paparazzi. According to hospital insiders, she declined to see Kody. She insisted on having her name taken out of the trust. The exterior of the favorite wife broke down, revealing a lady in disarray. A day later, Meri entered the same courthouse with a manila packet under one arm and a stony countenance. Official documents to cut off all legal and spiritual ties to Kody Brown were presented to the clerk by her. A symbolic separation from a man she had lost all recognition of. She was swarmed by reporters as she appeared on the courthouse steps outside. "Now that it's over, do you have anything you want to say to him?" one reporter ventured to inquire. Meri held up her sign. From the webcast, the same one. "Fu *K off." She turned and left after saying that. "My wives are ungrateful," he said in a live podcast he recorded with a conservative influencer. They had no desire for unification. They desired authority. However, the internet didn't believe it. The feed was inundated with comments. "Kody is insane. The family was saved by Gabe. Meri is a queen. He lost a lot of followers. We are reevaluating our relationship with Kody Brown in light of recent events," TLC said in a statement. Robyn's daughter Aurora even openly unfollowed him. Days later, she was spotted laughing with Nathan, a dashing architect who reportedly assisted in remodeling her mother's house, at a brunch restaurant in Sedona. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't sprinting. She responded, "Maybe," when asked if she would go back to reality TV. However, it would be known as Single Wives. Once claiming to be a leader of spiritual unification, the man was now shunned, ridiculed, and the subject of an investigation. What about the women? They got up. Together. Separate. But at last, free. And there's more. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, is talking about how hard it has been to lose his son, Garrison Brown. Given the awful things some fans said to him after his adult kid, whose mother is Janelle Brown, died, it may be time for everyone to take Kody's sentiments into consideration. Indeed, he was separated from Garrison at the time of his death, but many families have disagreements and resolve them over time. They might have worked things out if they had had more time. Kody has been kinder and softer lately. He gave Janelle and Meri Brown bigger interests in the Coyote Pass land that belonged to the Brown family. Kody acknowledged that his ex-wives contributed to the family in their own ways, which was a gentlemanly move. Christine Brown also did. Regrettably, Kody's most stubborn ex-wife did not get a portion of the acreage she returned to the family. She was therefore excluded from the new agreement, which will put Meri and Janelle in the black with $375,000 each. Kody discussed Garrison's death on the May 4th episode of Sister Wives, calling it so sad. He also said that he didn't get a chance to make things right between them before Garrison passed away. His desire was to bring his boy back to Wyoming so that he may be buried close to his grandma Cheryl. Is there anything more depressing or worse? This is as severe as it gets, and Kody must also cope with criticism from fans, which exacerbates the agony that is already difficult to bear. One fan pointed out his mistakes on Instagram, possibly unaware that Kody might be in a vulnerable state at the moment. One of these followers, who was responding to the most recent episode, criticized Kody for giving Robyn Brown's diesel gene model more weight than parenting, writing, "As usual, the majority of the comments were so offensive that posting them here is inappropriate. Even though the aforementioned comment is one of the kinder ones, it still hurts. Kody must feel terrible every time he reads these crap. Although he hasn't done so yet, it might be best to disable the comments on his older posts. Kody may be dealing with horrible sadness, which is working on him and making it easier for him to sense other people's pain, since he appears to be changing. People sometimes need to go through hardships before they truly get what others are going through. People who have experienced a lot can be incredibly nice to others, but it's unfortunate that life is this way. They don't want other people to experience sadness since they understand what it's like. It's unfair that Kody is receiving all the blame for a complicated issue. Garrison had issues prior to his death that could have contributed to his demise. Garrison was saddened by the thought of being estranged from Kody, but it was possible that it was more than that. It is a lot to infer that one person's actions caused another person to die, and it can cause the person who is being blamed to suffer from severe psychological harm. After enduring the worst, Janelle and Kody now have to learn how to live without their kid while bearing all of this suffering. Like many parents, Kody has had disagreements with his children. Before Garrison passed away, there was just one Kody and 18 children. Yes, the previous wives left him because he favored Robyn to them. Fair enough. Kody has endured this type of discrimination for years, and to say that it is bullying would be an understatement. But he had never lost a child before. Now, reading these hurtful comments and coping with the feelings they arouse must be exhausting. Fans will continue to voice their ideas wherever they can, but posting them directly on his Instagram, where he is sure to see them, might be harmful. The most hurtful remarks could cause him anguish, including sleepless nights, tremendous guilt, and a great deal of misery. Nobody is certain about Kody's condition. They are only aware of what they see in interviews conducted off-screen or on-screen. Kody might be trying to hide some of his emotional problems. If he is, he can become depressed after reading those remarks. There is nothing that can bring Garrison back. Telling Kody about his shortcomings as a husband and a father won't change anything. Nevertheless, the onslaught of what can only be described as hate persists. Venting may help people feel better, but how does Kody feel, and is it important? It ought to. Despite certain indications of trouble, no one was able to glimpse into Garrison's head before to his death. Sensing that Garrison would require her assistance, Janelle reached out to him. She made an effort to save him. However, nobody is aware of all his thoughts and emotions. Everybody has ideas that they occasionally keep to themselves for a very long time. They keep their innermost thoughts to themselves and dwell on the stresses in their lives. This explains why it may be so detrimental to bring negativity into someone's life. Kody Brown of Sister Wives must bear a load that is so heavy that it must occasionally feel overwhelming. He cannot hash things out or offer an apology to his late son. A cute infant, a kind and naive toddler, and a young lad who was searching for himself are all remembered. Although those recollections are lovely, they can also do harm to an individual. Fans should strive to be kinder to Kody since he might reach a breaking point. They can't say anything to him that he hasn't already considered. Perhaps it's time for everyone to change. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, complained in the most recent episode that his ex-wives were calling him a piece of trash because everyone was so defensive, which harmed his relationships with his ex-wives and their kids. However, Robyn Brown may be the true cause of all this conflict. The problem is that Robyn has Kody completely under control. She truly knows how to provide for his wants and truly understands him. As the most recent episode demonstrates, Kody is happiest when he is with Robyn. She is the force behind the throne and wants Kody all to herself. He appears younger and more optimistic as he clearly calms down and gets happier. That is love's power. Kody claims that his daughter, Ariella Mae Brown, is expressive and his mini-me. And while Robyn didn't appreciate being his beautiful assistant, Kody clearly enjoyed having her there as they were making a cosmetics table for her. Kody is nearly a hopeless romantic since he holds his wife in such high regard. Although it's adorable, Robyn has a lot of influence over him because of it. In her delicate hands, he is genuinely putty. In Sister Wives Season 19, Kody is beginning to grasp his part in things, and it's good to witness this level of maturity. In fact, it's unexpected that Kody is assuming so much responsibility for his ex-partner's issues, which have affected the kids he has with them. He is acknowledging that he struck out in the heat of the moment, claiming that he never loved those women, even though that was untrue. He wasn't the only one who did this. When going through a divorce, most people act negatively. A peaceful divorce is uncommon since it involves the breaking of a very strong bond, which in turn causes suffering, bewilderment, and anger. It's admirable to be genuinely friendly, as in Gwyneth Paltrow's notorious, conscious uncoupling. However, the friendly divorce seems almost heartless. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that the majority of splits are characterized by emotionally devastating waves of irate texts and phone calls, as well as feelings of shock and devastation. He now has to deal with the fallout. This is simply the way things are. Even though they deny it, such ladies have the potential to degrade him in front of his own kids. He is paranoid because he is aware that this might be occurring. It's not helpful. The ladies spend more time with those children, which is a terrible fact. Much more. Perhaps their remarks have more weight because they are making the effort to be present. He now has to deal with the fallout from Robyn, who is constantly by his side and promotes an obnoxious and crude, core family narrative. Even though they deny it, such ladies have the potential to degrade him in front of his own kids. He is paranoid because he is aware that this might be occurring. It's not helpful. The ladies spend more time with those children, which is a terrible fact. Much more. Perhaps their remarks have more weight because they are making the effort to be present. Then there is Robyn, who is constantly by his side and promotes an obnoxious and crude, core family story. Menu piece of trash. Does Robyn from Sister Wives alienate Kody's ex-partners and children who aren't part of the core family? She can be doing that without even realizing it. Sister Wives by Matthews. Heather 15 hours ago observed similar to the thread. Copy the link to your clipboard. Cesar Garcia created the custom image. Perhaps Robyn Brown is the real cause of all this strife. But Sister Wives star Kody Brown complained on the most recent episode that his ex-wives were calling him a piece of trash because everyone was so defensive, which harmed his relationships with his ex-wives and their kids. The problem is that Robyn has Kody completely under control. She truly knows how to provide for his wants and truly understands him. She wants Kody all to herself and is the force behind the throne. She may not be aware of it, but she drags him away from his children and ex-partners. The most recent episode demonstrates that Kody is happiest when he is with Robyn. He appears younger and more optimistic as he clearly calms down and gets happier. That is love's power. Kody claims that his daughter, Ariella Mae Brown, is expressive and his mini-me. And while Robyn didn't appreciate being his beautiful assistant, Kody clearly enjoyed having her there as they were making a cosmetics table for her. Kody is nearly a hopeless romantic since he holds his wife in such high regard. Although it's adorable, Robyn has a lot of influence over him because of it. In her delicate hands, he is genuinely putty. Kody wishes to win Robyn over. This has led to issues. It's encouraging to witness Kody's growing maturity as he begins to comprehend his part in events in Sister Wives Season 19. In fact, it's unexpected that Kody is assuming so much responsibility for his ex-partner's issues, which have affected the kids he has with them. The fact that he acted out in the heat of the moment, claiming he never loved those women, is something he's coming to terms with. Associated the top 20 reality TV programs available. Now it wasn't only him who was snapping. When going through a divorce, most people act negatively. A peaceful divorce is uncommon since it involves the breaking of a very strong bond, which in turn causes suffering, bewilderment, and anger. It's admirable to be genuinely friendly, as in Gwyneth Paltrow's notorious, conscious uncoupling. However, the friendly divorce seems almost heartless. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that the majority of splits are characterized by emotionally devastating waves of irate texts and phone calls, as well as feelings of shock and devastation. This is simply how things are. Associated the top 20 reality TV programs available now. He now has to deal with the fallout. Even though they deny it, such ladies have the potential to degrade him in front of his own kids. He is paranoid because he is aware that this might be occurring. It's not helpful. The ladies spend more time with those children, which is a terrible fact. Much more. Perhaps their remarks have more weight because they are making the effort to be present. Then there is Robyn, who is constantly by his side and promotes an obnoxious and crude, core family story. Although she and her children are part of the core family, why must she keep one set of children apart from another? This type of behavior just serves to maintain the bad blood. When Robyn, who is consistently passive-aggressive, feeds the embers of wrath and resentment, they will never go out. Although she and her children are part of the core family, why must she keep one set of children apart from another? Their interactions with their children are normal, healthy, and joyful, and Kody and Robyn enjoy a comfortable home. They are in love. Kody seems to love more at times, but that's also not unusual. That kind of imbalance, though, can be harmful. Robyn wore red to their Valentine's dinner, but she didn't really have a loving glow in her eyes until she opened Kody's gifts, which included lovely earrings and a pendant that had what Kody described as her favorite turquoise. He went out of his way to get him a gift, and she didn't bring him one. He might have been hurt by that. Ex-partners who are so distrustful that they threaten to hire a lawyer to avoid feeling taken advantage of when Kody Pass sold. Potential debts. Robyn spent $70,000 on dolls, and estrangements with Paydon and Gabriel Brown, as well as other Brown offspring. He keeps spending money on Robyn because he thinks it will last forever. But what if it doesn't? Kody may have given in to Janelle and Meri's demands by dividing the Coyote Pass property before selling it. He might have done it out of kindness. In the end, it makes no difference because deeds speak louder than words ever could. The $375,000 in their pockets is more significant than a compliment that may not even be accurate. People's actions speak louder than their words. Robyn has a history of saying one thing and doing another. Though she secretly desired monogamy, she spoke of cherishing polygamy and loving the entire family. At Christmas, she kept Kody away from his elder children while seeming to be a loving stepmother. She made friends with Meri but never followed through on her promise to visit her when she broke up with Kody. The ex-partners and their children can sense the cognitive dissonance when Robyn's words and deeds don't always match. Kody Brown from Sister Wives is an exceptionally romantic man. He is not so cynical that he doesn't think his partner is a princess. He still has a strong romantic attachment to this woman. She can have a core family if she desires one, but there will always be a cost. If people don't give as much as they take, everything they take in life could be bad. Robyn might not be at the same level of self-awareness as Kody, who appears to be making significant progress in accepting this. Even though he doesn't think of Robyn as such, she is his largest obstacle when it comes to his connections with his children. The greatest thing he can do is try to create bridges on his own, without her in the picture. His kids can spend time with him. He and Robyn don't always have to be a package deal. She will demonstrate her true love for him if she backs off and allows him to fortify those priceless and lovely ties before they are irrevocably severed. He truly needs the freedom to attempt to make things better without the typical meddling. His Sister Wives queen should be able to comprehend this. The Sister Wives OG3, Meri, Janelle, and Christine Brown, live very different lives now that they are split from their ex-husband, Kody Brown, and each is encountering struggles. Sister Wives began on TLC in 2010 and portrayed Kody's polygamous lifestyle with his OG3 wives on the edge of the family acquiring a fourth wife, Robyn Brown. Kody married his original wives in the early 90s, and the family welcomed 13 children together. When Robyn was added, she brought 3 kids from her previous marriage and went on to have 2 children with Kody. It became clear over the years that Kody favored Robyn, and Meri even got talked into legally divorcing Kody so he could marry Robyn. Due to Kody's favoritism, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, each of his original wives left him. Christine was first in 2021, then Janelle in 2022, followed by Meri in January 2023. Now, Kody is living a monogamous lifestyle with Robyn and has no plans of adding another wife. The OG3 has started new chapters, but they are not without risks. Meri had possibly the most painful breakup with Kody. The Coyote Pass once shared property was recently sold, and the proceeds were divided up. Over time, it became clear that Kody and Meri had chemistry, but as Kody's desire to keep his wife's interests balanced waned, so did their chemistry. Meri stuck it out the longest, but was criticized the most. Towards the end of their relationship, Kody seemed intent on letting Meri know that he never loved her, which was a notion that was extremely hurtful to Meri. However, Meri chose to take the high road and leave the marriage on her own terms with a spiritual divorce. Kody did help Meri move out of her house, and they were friendly during the experience. But the move did signify their official moving on from each other, and the situation prompted an emotional reaction from Kody. Meri claimed that managing the Airbnb was never her desire, although she did move into Lizzie's Heritage Inn, an Airbnb property she purchased to maintain in her mother's family. Meri closed the business to undertake the necessary improvements to the 154-year-old house. She obtained a $1.1 million loan on the house, which included a $485,000 loan. Meri is obviously in love with Lizzie's Heritage Inn, even though reservations are supposedly once again available. Meri gained $375,000 in the divorce of the Coyote Pass property with Kody, which is beneficial to her both emotionally and financially. Meri is in a relationship, but she hasn't found a long-term partner. In 2024, she spent 4 months dating a man named Amos Andrews, but they broke up because of their divergent communication methods, ideals, and goals. Kody always respected Janelle's business-minded nature, while Janelle valued not having a husband at home during their marriage. However, because she was a working woman, Janelle, like the other original spouses, had had enough of Kody's partiality, lack of responsibility, and the way the family's funds were handled. All Janelle sought when she left Kody was the $375,000 she was due on the Coyote Pass property, and she has since received it. Janelle chose to go to North Carolina with her daughter, Maddie Brush, Maddie's husband, and their children. Despite several obstacles, they are establishing a farm they're called Tata Farms on a sizable, undeveloped plot of land. The property's plans have been put on hold because of zoning, permit, and surveying issues. Janelle stated in April 2024 that she was moving forward with building her home, but a recent trip back to Flagstaff, Arizona, highlighted her sentimentality and present-day outlook. In March 2024, Janelle lost her and Kody's son, Garrison Brown, and she and the rest of the family are still grieving for that loss. Janelle may be in over her head, even though she has a lot of goals for the farm in North Carolina. She recouped her Coyote Pass investment and then some, but Tata Farms seems to be more bother than it's worth. Janelle hasn't started dating, and it's evident that she misses her old acquaintances and familiar places. She is seen as a strong lady, and the years that follow her divorce from Kody will put her independence to the test. Although Christine and Janelle remain close, she is Kody's most distant ex-wife. Although Christine receives criticism online for showing off her relationship, it's clear that Kody, the patriarch of sister wives, has been resentful of his ex-wife's breakup. Her issues and prospects for the future appear to be insignificant in comparison to Meri and Janelle's. Kody has verbally attacked his ex-wives in a fit of rage, primarily accusing them of treating him badly and, in his opinion, abandoning him. With the exception of talking about their kids, Meri, Janelle, and Christine are all well on their way. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.